Hey, Safety Man here. As your local resident firearm instructor with almost 25 years of experience in training people in firearms, but even more so, learning from the experts in firearms, from LAPD SWAT, NYPD ESU, from New Jersey State Police SWAT, which is called Teams, from the Secret Service, and most recently I've been training with some Navy SEALs and Army Rangers, teaching me all kinds of different weapons tactics. One of the things that I'm learning, have learned, have practiced, and have seen great success in is making as many things as possible automatic. Making as many things as possible, not second nature, but first nature, something that you're automatically going to do. I don't want it to be such a reflex where you can't stop it, such as when you go to sneeze, you automatically go to cover your nose, right? Or when you go to yawn, you automatically go to cover your mouth. That's almost a reflex. I don't want to quite be there. I still want that brain to be working a little bit to make sure that our force choices, our force responses, our startle response, our flinch, as Tony Blauer would say, our startle flinch would make sense given what the stimulus is. But let's try to make just these two things when it comes to home defense. Just these two things. Let's make those things as close to automatic as possible. One is causing someone to dial 911 and get help en route. A couple things happen when we dial 911. It automatically geolocates or tells the first responders our address and our name. It lets police, fire, EMS, and whatever other services we need know exactly where to go. Additionally, especially in Burlington County, in New Jersey, and the vast majority of law enforcement agencies, that computer is going to be tied into another computer system that's going to give us the call volume or responses that we have had to your house before. It may give us some insight. What color is a house? How many floors a house? Who lives there? How many people live there? If we have any criminal activity, any medical activity, anything else like that, vehicles in the driveway may be helpful. So that's the one or two things that dialing that 911 can help. It gets first responders en route to our emergency, even if we don't say anything. It's best if we do, and we're going to get into that in just a second. And then additionally, it gives those first responders and their supervisors and their shift commanders the ability to have some additional insight in what may have happened or is likely to be happening at our residence. What else happens when we call 911? It automatically starts to make an audio record. It records what is happening in the background, not just that conversation. Yes, it records that too. Hey, my name is Corey. I live at 123 Main Street. There's been a shooting at my house. Someone is injured. Someone is still out on the loose. Please send help. Now, if you notice what I said there, and I've cleared this with a bunch of different attorneys, it gets out the important information of your address, your name, there was a gun involved, someone has been shot, someone needs help, and for those responding police officers, firefighters, ambulance technicians, and paramedics, and whoever else, detectives are en route, it lets them know that there's potentially another armed, violent individual or more outside. So A, we want them caught to protect us, our neighbors, and the first responders. And B, if they're surprised and now they have to deal with that and they weren't ready, that's going to slow down the response, especially if it's a medical response to you or one of your loved ones who is injured. So seriously consider and practice what we might say on that 911 phone call. Now, going along with that, I know I said two things. This is kind of two, maybe 2.5. Give me 2.5. Is loud, repetitive verbal commands to whomever is inside our house illegally, unlawfully, and uninvited. Get out of my house. I have a gun. Get out of my house. The police are en route. If you don't leave, I will shoot you. If we give those loud, repetitive verbal commands, That's what the Attorney General wants in the policy, is loud, repetitive verbal commands. They want us to give the bad guy, the person we may have to use force, especially deadly force, a warning and a reasonable opportunity to comply. Now, I get a lot of flack, a lot of feedback from the internet, social media warriors who tell me I'm not yelling at anybody, I'm not giving anybody a chance. If they're in my house, I'm shooting them. And while for the most part, they may have some good solid ground to stand on, let's just look at a few things that I've investigated personally as a police officer. One, a highly intoxicated person accidentally walked into the unlocked door of the wrong home, sat down on the couch, and started to fall asleep. Now, that person is unlawfully, uninvited, in your home. Do you think that you legally have the right to come down and just put one in his face? I'll let you answer that. Do you think that tactically it's a good choice for you to tippy-toe down the steps like a ninja or a Navy SEAL and just go assassinate this person sitting on your sofa, or walking around your house, or digging through your refrigerator looking for something to eat or drink? Do you think that that's tactically sound to go running around in your boxer shorts with your pistol, going to shoot who knows whom and how many people inside your home? Lastly, morally, how are you going to feel if that person you shot turned out to be a 19-year-old rookie drunk who walked into the wrong home because he got into some sort of argument, whatever, he missed his Uber and he's trying to walk home, or he went outside and just got lost? Because this has happened. I have investigated these calls. How do you think you're going to feel when you shoot and kill this 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old person on your sofa in your kitchen, and he or she was not a threat to you, your family, your property, your belongings, or anything? They just made a mistake. So these loud, repetitive verbal commands that I'm talking about, they're also going to be recorded on 911, which is going to help your legal case if you get into a shooting. It's going to alert the other members of your home that there is some sort of event or incident in the house, and hopefully we practice it. Just like if you yell fire, 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 everybody knows to get out and meet at a certain location. Well, if they start hearing you yell, get out of my house, I have a gun, 911 has been called, police are en route, get out or I'll shoot you, get out. That's recorded on 911 to protect you legally, and it lets the other residents of your house to know, either arm and come help, get to a safe place, get out, or protect somebody who cannot protect themselves. And it also, finally, and this is important because it's in the policy, it is tactically sound. Do you want to get in a gunfight in your house with bullets flying around that can endanger your family members, your neighbors, your pets, your property? Do you want that? No. So if by yelling I can cause this person to leave, that's a win. If by yelling I cause this person to leave and I don't have to shoot them, that's years, thousands of dollars in legal fees that I can have avoided. And that's better for me to close my eyes or look at myself in a mirror or face my family, my friends, my relatives, my coworkers, the people I worship with, that I made a good force choice and did not have to shoot this person. Now, finally, please don't take this as me telling you it is never lawful, it is never justified, or it is never necessary to shoot an unlawful, uninvited, potentially violent intruder inside your home. Just follow the law, follow the policy, give them a reasonable may mean there was no opportunity for you to get them to leave. Reasonable may mean there was 1 second. Reasonable is something you have to believe, you have to be able to articulate in court, in front of a judge and or a jury, and the social media and the mainstream media, that your force choice was tactical, lawful, necessary, safe, and effective. As always, this has been Safety Man. Contact me for additional training. Stay safe, be ready, and train now.